Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You are watching Nub's Collection, a YouTube series dedicated to the cataloging and review of every game in my physical media collection. As always, I am your host, Victory Nub, and today we are looking at Castlevania II: Simon's Quest. Developed and published by Konami and released in North America. I always say just released, but in fact, there are usually multiple release dates depending on the territory. So I guess I should specify released in America in December of 1988. So this has always been one of the more interesting Castlevania games of the entire series. And they've had quite a few different games that have different styles, but they usually fall into one of two camps. They fall into either the classic camp, which would be more along the lines of Castlevania 1 or Castlevania 3, which are games where you go through a scripted level that has one design and basically one, sometimes two paths that you could follow, with a boss at the end that you whip until you wear down their health bar. They die, end of area, you move to the next one. Or they fall into the, I can't remember his name, Koji Igarashi style of game, which started with Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and then he carried that into his Game Boy Advance games, Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, I think that's what it was called. Those games where it's more of an wide open map, more akin to Metroid, with character leveling, equipment that you could pick up and put on like an RPG. In the case of some of the later games, abilities you could pick up Pokemon style and add to your collection so you could attack enemies with special moves. This game, Castlevania II: Simon's Quest, kind of falls in between, and we'll dig into that a little bit when we start playing the game. But let's go ahead and do the story setup. One of the things I hadn't mentioned in one of the previous episodes for the Nintendo games is the fact that while I did buy and own all of these games, I did not hold on to a single one of the instruction manuals. I don't know why. We had the game cases for the Sega Master System games still there, so we had that to hold on to all the instruction manuals. With the Nintendo games, it may have been one of those things where you take it out of the box, you read it one or two times, you stick it back in the box, you have all these boxes laying around, it's like, I don't want to keep these because they're all cardboard, and you're like, I'll just throw it out. And usually, where's the instruction manual? It's back in the box where you got it from. So everything I'm doing for the Nintendo games at this point is looking up an instruction manual online. So this is a little bit of cheating. Deal with it. Whatever. I'm sure you're really worried about that. So this is a section called The Second Coming of Count Dracula. It's going to be a super brief recap of what happened in the first game. Like, it doesn't really explain exactly what happened, but we'll go ahead and proceed with that. You're Simon Belmont, bravest of the brave, boldest of the bold, a Gothic warrior respected by kings. You earned your praise, not by crushing Viking invaders or Turkish hordes, but by destroying the evil Count Dracula in a duel to the death at Castlevania. But your victory proved painful, as the wounds inflicted during the duel slowly gnawed at your soul. One day, though, a beautiful maiden appeared. With a soft voice, she warned that you were possessed by the Count's curse. She said your only hope of destroying the curse and healing your scars was to find the 5 body parts of Count Dracula and burn them in his castle, ending forever the reign of the Prince of Darkness. I don't think that's accurate. Suddenly, like most beautiful visions, she began to fade. I'm sorry, suddenly, like most beautiful visions, she began to fade? I've never had a beautiful vision that faded. I can't say that happens very often. As you reached to touch her, sorry, I lost my place, she spoke her final words. Fear not, brave Simon, for if you have the courage to risk your life, you will find the strength to win again. Well, he's pretty used to risking his life already, so that was the story, and they just have some basic explanation of what to do in this game, so let's go ahead and fire it up. Obviously, they're giving a prologue here. Step into the shadows of the Hell House, you've arrived back, and blah, 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 but I missed the rest of it. All right, just keep going. Oh, listen to that banger. So this is something they got way better in this game than in the first one, and I would even argue the third game rather. The soundtrack for this game is bar none the best of the NES games, or Castlevania games at least. Sorry, I won't sit here all day with me just bopping my head back and forth. But here's another one. Hey, old man, talk to me. First thing to do in this town is buy a white crystal. He wants me to go buy some crack rock? Is that what he's saying? Ooh, they italicized 13 clues will solve Dracula's riddle. So this game is interesting because, like I said before, it doesn't quite fall into the old style of Castlevania where you have one level to go through, fight a boss with a health bar, and then proceed to the next one. This game is also not much like the Game Boy Advance or what would slowly over time become known as the Metroidvania or Igavania style games, where it's like a larger map that you explore at your leisure and level up and gain weapons and new abilities and stuff. You have a friend in the town of Aldra, go and see him. One of the things that this game... Oh, don't fall. One of the things that this game does that's different from those other two is you do have a larger map that you can explore, kind of like the newer style games, and the combat and movement style is a lot more like the older style games. But this one also has one larger mystery to solve, and it is done in some of the worst translated English of all time. They give you false clues everywhere. There is a thing that you have to do that the game doesn't even tell you about. It's like you have to go crouch at a wall for 30 seconds so a tornado picks you up and drags you to another part of the map. There's nothing in the game. Nothing in the game that tells you to do this. You just have to try it. And that was bad design, so... Turn right for Jova Woods, left for Belasco Marsh. What do you got to say, old man? Oh, I skipped it. Magic potion will destroy the wall of evil. That magic potion he's talking about is holy water, so no, you're wrong. Quit bipping and bopping over here, guy. Rumor has it the ferryman at Dead River loves garlic. So that is kind of useful information. What he's saying is, I think you have to get on the boat and either give him a clove of garlic, or you have to just drop it and he'll start moving. What you selling, lady? Buy a thorn whip. Oh, yes, but we don't have the money yet. And by money, I mean hearts, because in this game, as you can see up at the top there, you have hearts as your money, and you need 50 of them. I need another 50 of them. She wanted 100 for the whip, so we'll go outside and do a little smacking some monsters to get that money. I don't know which way is better. We'll go left. Whee! Wow! You're scary monsters! So there's a leveling system in this game, but its utility is completely mysterious to me. I think all it really does is give your health back. That's it. You get health. Oh, come on. Want that thing? We're already off to a fantastic start, you can see. Take advantage of those iframes for a couple seconds. Let's go away where I'm not going to get my butt handed to me immediately. That was not worth the 4 hearts I got. Another interesting thing about this game is that there is a... Here we go. What a horrible night to have a curse. Some of the most famous words in all of video games. And that's what I was about to say, is there is a curse mechanic where every night, and there is a day and night cycle you can see on the screen up at the top here, T equals 1831, so 6:30 in the afternoon. When it turns to night, you have zombies start invading the towns, and in the outside world, enemies get replaced by slightly stronger enemies. This is probably one of the best ways to get hearts, is to just go into the town, walk back and forth, fight the zombies, pick up the hearts they drop, because it's safer. It's usually much easier to kill these guys than anyone else. So you just kind of wander back and forth and kill them. Obviously, at nighttime, when the zombies come out, the townspeople will not allow you... Well, they won't stay outside, and I also don't think you can go into any of these buildings, but we will double check just to reconfirm what I remember. Yep, I can't go in. So I'm getting some money here. There's also going to be, if I'm not mistaken, holy water in this town that we want to buy before we leave. God, every song in this game is just chef's kiss. Delicious. One of the best soundtracks on the Nintendo. There's a reason why Bloody Tears gets referenced so often by people, and it's because it started here and it was fantastic. Alright, so one of those weird brain things. So you see this crack in the wall that I'm hitting with my whip right now? That one right there. Tell me that doesn't look like a cat's face. I'm not crazy. Another cat's face. Some little hoodlum is going around and painting on the curbs faces of cats. I killed a cat here. I killed half a cat here, and here, and here. Goes home to his mom, so proud that he murdered a cat, and his mom's like, you know how we got rid of the plague in this town, right? We had the cats eat all the plague-bearing rats, you bleeping idiot. And then she sent him to work in the coal mines for the rest of his life. Now, there is a timeline in the Castlevania series, and I do not remember when exactly the Simon Belmont era of the Castlevania games took place. I'm leaning, if not the 1700s, like late 1700s, maybe the early 1800s, but that is purely a guess. I'm sure I'll put it up on the screen here, do my research, and get back to you guys on that. All right, let's go get a whip. So again, this game is kind of like a hybrid between the RPG stylings of the later games and the classical playstyle of the early games. You can upgrade your equipment with purchases. Now let's see if you can see the difference in the whip. Not really. Maybe it's a tiny bit longer. Alright, let me go talk to the other kid who's just bipping and bopping back and forth. It's one of these two that keeps killing all the cats. It's you, isn't it? You jerk. Oh, damn it. Flame is on top of the 6th tree in Dennis Woods. See, I have no idea if that's something that you can actually act upon. Some of this stuff is literally just gobbledygook that they spew for no reason. Clues to Dracula's riddle are in the town of Veros. There is some stuff that you have to do, and this game may or may not tell you exactly how to do it, but usually you just gotta figure it out on your own. Buy a white crystal? Well, I have to, but I don't have the cash right now, lady. What do you gotta say? Want to buy holy water? Oh, yes. I gotta get that. So the white crystal, what that does is it allows me to... If it doesn't allow me to traverse a certain area where there would normally be a wall, I believe it allows you to take a ferry? We're just guessing at this point. I may or may not be right on that. It gave me 2 hearts. Well, better than nothing. So unfortunately, and I think this is why I chose to just do this as a single look back as opposed to the full playthrough, is not only is this game a little bit grindy for entertainment value, but also, frankly, it's been so long since I played it, I do not remember what you got to do to beat the game. And I don't want to spend half of every episode looking at a detailed breakdown of where you got to go to do everything. It would probably not be for much good entertainment value. I still like the game. It's just, that's definitely going in the bad when we do the review phase later. They made a valiant effort at kind of going a different path, diverging from what they had done in the first game. And they succeeded, maybe not necessarily for the best. Where are we at? 26. So I need 50 for the crystal and 50 for the holy water. And I think that was everything in the town that we could pick up. Because I don't think we can get any of the other items for a while. The holy water is very important. Sorry, I'm still going through puberty, apparently. The holy water is very important because what you have to do is you use it not only to damage enemies, which is always very useful, but also it will destroy false barriers, and more importantly, false floor panels. So these little concrete blocks that we're walking on right now, in certain areas of the game, they can be destroyed by throwing holy water on them. And they'll reveal paths to secret rooms, items that you would only be able to get by going into those areas, passages to, you know, bosses and mansions. I would really love to do a mansion one time before we end the episode today, but it'll be dependent on how long it takes to get the money I need to simply get to a mansion. Come on. By the way, those are some of the most slow, lethargic werewolves I've ever seen. Oh yeah, I guess I'm a werewolf. I'll just kind of slowly amble along. Look, the skeletons are faster than them. Listen, I'd chase after you and whatever, but I just ate. I'm a little sleepy. Are we sure it's a werewolf and not like a lazy Labrador retriever? Oh, you want me to chase the You want me to chase the mailman? Look, woof, woof, woof. That was one of my favorite things when I was meter reading. I used to be a meter reader out in the field, and I would go house to house and gather reeds with a little electronic wand. There was a house that I used to go to all the time that had a big Labrador retriever. And I say Labrador, I guess it was a golden retriever. Big, long coat of hair. Looks like the dog was easy 115, 120 pounds, right? So if it wanted to, it could probably take you down. Every time I would get there, the dog would just give me one woof. Not even a loud bark, just kind of a woof. And I just leveled up. And I would approach the yard. I had to, because unfortunately they had one of the meters that required me to physically tap the lid to get the read off of it. And I would approach the yard, and without fail, the dog would walk over, tail wagging, lay down on the ground, belly up. That dog wanted nothing but love. He didn't want to scare me. He didn't want to protect his owner's property. He just wanted the pets. So every time I got there, I'd have to stop and pet him. Unfortunately, that's something that was a recurring issue with a lot of the houses I would go to, is you'd have all these big, scary-looking dogs, and every time you would get there, it was like, oh no, he just wants some attention. He's bored. The biggest dog I ever saw in any of the properties I ever went to, one of them was a Mastiff. And if you know anything about Mastiffs, they are some of the biggest dogs on the planet, aside from maybe Great Danes. And there was one that was enormous that I would see every time I was out doing my meter reading. And this one acted like, no, he doesn't want to be touched. He doesn't want you coming in the yard. So he would give me a very apprehensive look and just a single, roo, I would be like, okay, message received. I won't come in your yard. I didn't need to because that particular property had an electronic radio attached to it, so I could pick up the read from probably a half a mile away and never have to go anywhere near the yard. But the rest of the street had some lids I'd have to physically tap to get the read. And one day I was out going around the property, and the dog was out there, but also the owner of the property was out there. And he starts striking up a chat, and I say, "Oh yeah, you have the big dog, right? The mastiff." And he's like, "Yeah, I can bring him out if you want." It's like, "Oh, you don't really have to because I don't want to get mauled today." But he went out and grabbed the dog, brought the dog out. Dog came right over to me, licked my hand, nuzzled his head against my chest while sitting. I'm 6 feet tall. He nuzzled his head against my chest while he was sitting. This dog was enormous. And one of the sweetest dogs you'll ever meet. Because all he wants is some pets. Apparently everyone in the neighborhood knew this dog. His name was Rex. And yeah, it's been about 10 years since I was out reading, so I have a feeling he has passed away. But he was a very nice dog that one time I came by while the owner was there. All right, so we got the 2 items that we were desperate to get before we could move on. So this is where you can go to... Sorry, I got a cough here. Pardon me. This is... I didn't get it out of my throat all the way. This is one of the areas you can go to get your health back if you're taking damage. Sorry, I'm checking the floors and walls in here to see if there isn't anything secret. I am remembering there's one room in this town where you can find something to break. Sounds awful. Why would you go into a town and be like, hey, I'm going to throw some water on the floor here to see if I can destroy the floor? No, I don't want your whip. I don't want your whip. I already have a whip. Thank you. Sometimes it's the wall, too. Alright, well, whatever. We're not trying to beat the game. We're just trying to look at some of the cool things about it. Do not fall off that platform. So because this is a Nintendo era video game and they don't make good decisions in those games sometimes, there are bottomless pits in the town. You have to jump over this or else you will fall in and die immediately. Moving right along. What I am remembering is there is a town this way and a mansion a little bit beyond that. It's about the extent of my memory of this game. Is the first mansion is this way. By the way, if you hadn't heard this song before or didn't know what I was talking about when I said Bloody Tears, this is Bloody Tears. Those are supposed to be fish monsters. I always thought they were dudes wearing, like, scuba suits. I mean, it kind of looks like a really loose scuba suit. There's your first taste of a destructible wall there. Oh. You don't want to fall in that. It's poison swamp, and it will slow you down and damage you, so stay out. Oh, no, you don't. Gotcha. Now, I'm thinking up will lead me to the town and down will lead me to an item of some kind. Maybe a better whip, I think. Nothing there. I don't think there's anything when you can see the ground below it. Oh, no, this is the town. A rib can shield you from evil. All right, so what they're telling you there is that part of the process of defeating Dracula, as they said in the instruction manual, is picking up 5 of his body parts. Of course. One of those parts is his rib. And if you get those items, you can actually equip them, and some of them have special abilities. The rib in this case will act as a shield that can protect you from projectiles. They'll just kind of bounce away. I think the eye lets you see certain things you couldn't see before. I don't know if any of the others have abilities. If they did, I don't remember what they are. Hello. No! Oh, I thought he flew at me. He does not. He just kind of flies up and down. Oh, he does! I was right. The reason they're giving me half hearts here is that you can get full hearts and they're worth even more later. So there is a little bit of a currency value upgrade depending on where you are in the game. I take a quick drink here. I have no idea if this is Veros or not. If it is, we're on the right track. This episode may run a little long because I really do want to get to one of the mansions. And speaking of which, who decided that the best way to handle the murder of Count Dracula, who no one had ever fought or even seen before, so they had no idea this was a character that was going to have to be split up and have his body parts dragged around Europe to protect from his resurrection? I don't know. The best way to do that was just drag the body parts to 5 different houses. And not even that far apart. I mean, if he can walk there in just a couple days' time, they didn't do a very good job of separating those body parts. I like the idea of using a whip as your primary weapon. Here's the problem. If your enemy's wearing armor, you're not going to do anything. Like, that whip's going to hit them and they're going to be like, that's it? That's all you got? And that's what he starts with. He just starts with a leather whip. Okay, well, now he has a thorn on the end of it. Still not damaging anyone in armor. You get chainmail. You might knock them back a little bit. They're not going to really be hurt. It's a chain. When you get the Morning Star, then maybe we're talking about some serious damage to them, because it could, you know, smack into the side of the armor, give them a nice contusion, hit the head, concuss them a little bit. Who knows? Clues to Dracula's riddle are in the town of Alba. I think we are in Veros now, then. Come on. Oh, I can't read it. All right, hold on. Let's go in here. There we go. This is going to be one with a false floor or false wall or something. There we go. Talk to her. Will you buy a dagger? Abso-fruitly. So this will seem like overkill, but there will be areas with secret walls that lead to rooms with secret floors that lead to another room. And yes, that is ridiculous and just it's overkill. They didn't need to do that. And I love it anyway. Turn right for Dobby's Path, left for the Veros Woods. Okay, let me out. Oh, come on. You look pale, my son. You must rest in the church. My son. Dude, I'm probably like 30 years older than you. Clues to whatever. How about you, old man? Clues to Dracula. Really? You're saying the same thing? Clues to Dracula's riddle are in Berkeley Mansion. Alright, so we're getting close. He's telling me about Berkeley Mansion. It means we're near Berkeley Mansion. health back. Whee! Anything to say now? No, I don't know. How about now? You've got a friend waiting for you in the town of Algiba. That just means there's someone I gotta talk to get an item, probably in that area. What you gotta sell? Nothing? Hey! Try this wall too. Nope, nothing. Whee! Now, the people who got really good at this game found out that you could, like, drop through a certain pixel on a certain spot on the floor and fall all the way to the bottom of the map if you wanted to. I'm not going to try any of that. Purchase a chain whip, 100%, but I don't have enough money, do I? I do not. We're close, though. I need to kill one monster to get it. Let's get that whip. And then we're going to go beat up some monsters in a mansion. Oh, these guys are the bane of my existence because they're so hard to kill. All right, well, oh, he almost popped me into the wall I needed to go to. All right, we got it. Jerk. Also, I think there's an item in there that I need to get. We'll see if we can't find it before we move on. Again, this may end up being a long episode because I want to get to that mansion. Yes. I think you can actually see a visual difference in the weapon this time. There you go. And it sounds just like a chain would. Listen to that. Lifelike. And I remember every chain I've ever picked up glowing and flashing like that when I swung it. Get out of here, kid. Look at this. Gotcha. So the dagger is an interesting idea of a weapon. Unfortunately, it's also one that removes your ability to check walls to see if they're fake. So it's not something that I tend to use much. I might throw it on just to spice things up. So it does that. Maybe a little more range? Yeah, it is. About a half a chain link additional. Oh, okay, so we gotta switch back to the water. I'm checking that because I know the item is somewhere in here. I just don't know where. What the? No! Oh, damn it. So one of the things they did in this game is, I'm right here. No, here. Yeah, see, there's a little bit of a grab to the stairs. You saw a little bit better there. Before you actually get to the steps, you don't have to stand right on top of them to start going up like this. But if you're in range, he'll kind of auto lock onto the steps and start going up them. And when you're on the steps, you can't use your whip. Just a tactical blunder. Leave it. No! Maybe it's not here. I might be remembering a different cave. It's kind of early, so I don't think I'm even allowed to have the item that's supposed to be here this soon in the game. I think it's the Flame Whip upgrade, which is the last one. Okay. I think when you get to the mansion, you don't have to worry about what time of day it is. They're the same strength no matter what. Alright. We don't want to go that way. We are trying to go this way. That's just the path that you would normally see if you had gone through here during the split that we went south on. Which I needed to do so that we could get to the town. Here it is. This is what I was trying to get to. I don't know if you can break the... Nope. How about this? Also no. It's one of these, right? Maybe? Yeah, so you can use the water to damage enemies. There we go. So let's go grab that item. Get out of here. You will not deny me my glory. Ta-da! You now possess the sacred flame, which we can't use because... Oh, it's a spell. That's right. Which I think uses my sub points, maybe? Oh, no. I don't know. Yeah, it does. We lost one for doing that. Whereas the water costs you nothing. The dagger... also nothing. So, it's a... Yeah, there we go. It's a useful spell for damaging enemies that take a lot of hits to destroy early on, but it's costly, so use it sparingly. Also, one of the things I hadn't really said anything about yet, because I was hoping it wouldn't be an issue, but you have lives in this game, and if you run out, well, you have to start back in, I think, the first town in the game, maybe? If you're outside. If you're not outside, I think you can just restart in the town or the tunnel you're in. Not tunnel, but a mansion, rather. Mansion. Oh, I thought I was there. I might still be there. Ooh, extra level. Get my health back up. I said I don't think there's a difference, but I bet if I pause the playback, I'll see that the health goes up when you level. Not like you're missing health, but I mean your total health points go up. Another town. I wonder if I gotta go south to get to the mansion. Owie! No, can't do anything in the town for now, so let's go south and see if I'm right. I don't see how anyone can go into the woods in this town. It looks like the trees are just, like, arm in arm. There's no getting between them. That is not great growth. Nothing back there. Let's just go this way. I mean, you're not going to be able to get anything smaller growing in the ground underneath those trees. No sunlight. That's how forest fires start, kids. Not just people flicking butts out of their windows. Trees take over. They get big. Nothing grow underneath. When stuff dies, it doesn't get broken down, decomposed like it should. A lot of stuff gets dry. Hot weather gets going. Stuff ignites from the heat. Trees burn down. Everything starts over. You get the small plants growing in there first, then the larger ones over time. So this is where we would need to have an item to get across, which we do not have. So we'll have to leave. Come back another time. Not gonna lie, these platforms kind of look like square eyeballs. Especially those two, they're like going back and forth on the water. Which when you think about it, it means I'm stepping on someone's eyes to cross over the lake. I really do like the look of Simon Belmont in this game. I mean, technically, it's just a reskin of the one from the first game, but it's just a better color palette. In that game, he was just wearing a lot of, like, tan and brown. Here, he's got some striking attire on there, you know? He's got black undergarments with a hot set of red armor, white accents for the gloves and boots. I even like the fact that whatever the armor is supposed to be kind of goes up on his neck as well. Protect that jugular. Figured out while fighting Dracula. Whee! See if there's anything on this wall. Sure isn't. 40 minutes. Yeah, this is going to be a long episode. All right, where are you at? Come on, talk. You buy some garlic. Yeah, sure. I got 89 now. So that is a consumable. You don't get a ton of it. And in fact, well, I'm not going to buy any more right now. Garlic has a couple of uses. One, you can use it as an item to entice a ferryman to move, but also use it as like an item to freeze certain enemies in place, I want to say. Why garlic does that to every enemy and not just one in particular, vampires, I don't know. And then there's another item which we may find here, which is laurels, or not. It's a T-man. Dracula's eyeball reflects the curse. I don't know what that means. But they're telling you what the different uses are for each of the body parts that you'll find. I do not know what that means. Maybe it means that you get a longer timer for the curse starting, or a shorter timer. I'm not sure what the right terminology there would be. Buy some garlic. It has special powers. Thanks, kid. It literally looks like he's taking 3 steps and then just leaning forward on his toes and spinning in place. Clues to Dracula's riddle are in the Veros Woods. See, I don't know what any of this means. Someone out there probably has the translation, or the original Japanese for this game, and some of this crap may have made more sense with the letters that they used, because kanji tend to have a lot more depth of meaning in single characters than what we can fit in the same text box that they would use. There we go. There's the other perishable, which is laurels. And what laurels do are they make you invincible for a time. I don't know if it's to all damage or just the poison that you would normally step in the swamps. Hop. Okay. And go up. I hope I get to see everything I need to before nightfall. It's getting close. 3.5 hours. Laurel will protect you from the poison marsh. There you go. What about you? The dead river waits to be freed from the curse. I don't know what that means. To restore your life, shout in front of the church. Okay. I'd like to exchange a white crystal for a blue one. And that's why you needed the white crystal, because the blue one, which I forgot up until this point, is what you need to free the dead river from the curse. And again, I was about to say the F word, and I'm trying not to curse in these episodes, but what the hell does that mean? Free the dead river from the curse. What they're trying to tell you without really doing a great job of that is you have to go down to the river, which we're going to go do now. And I don't think it's this way. Yeah, we don't want to go there yet. Not that way. We want to go this way. This is another one of those games where a map would have probably helped a lot, but they didn't decide to give you one. Again, Nintendo, why do you think people remember this stuff? They don't. They just don't. But we want to go back to the river. No! Owie! Come on, don't die. I want to make it to the mansion. Whee! I think we're in the right spot. Yep. Gotcha. Actually, looking at these blocks again, now they kind of look to me like somebody kind of like closing their eyes and then just bellowing out, "Oh!" Yeah. Replenish some of the money I just used buying consumables. One of the dumber decisions that they made in this game. And believe me, this game, I still love it, still has plenty of issues, is that you have a limit on how many of the hearts you can contain. Now here's the goofy part of that. You see that there are 4 digit markers for the hearts, right? You can only pick up 256. Why would they give you 4 digit counters and you can only use 3 of them? Not great design. So here's what they wanted you to do. The way that we're going to free the dead river from the curse, just crouch and wait a couple seconds here. How was anyone supposed to figure that out? How would anyone know that? Yeah, I had that coming. I'm an idiot. I didn't know they were going to start me that close. I hope I start in the same spot. I do. All right. Let's do this the safe way. Ah, you dummy. Here we go. This is what I was trying to get to. This is the first mansion. I think this is where we're going to call it an episode after we finish. Get out of here, guys. Ow! Another banger. Listen to this song. So, I don't know if it's this mansion or a future one that we'll get to. Well, would get to normally. But this is, I think, one of the first areas where they start messing with you with false floors that you can't destroy, but are invisible. Like, what I mean by that is, like... not yet. Yeah, I'm not worried about the bat. Get out of here. Yeah, we haven't found one yet. I think it is going to be here, though. Where the floor will look solid, but if you step on it, you fall right through. Alright, good. Not this area, then. Ooh! Definitely don't want to walk into the wall there. He can, though. Ouch! Still did it. Ooh, demon monsters. As I recall, those guys are worth a lot. Get like 8. Come on, game. Oop, there we go. Oh. Whew. Ouch! Screwed that up. Oh, thank you. Get out of the way for me! Whew. No, you don't. And demon monster. Look at that. I think that's worth 8. Ouch! Ooh, we're getting close to death. I want to get to this item. Ah, crap. You jerk. I don't think they... Yeah, they don't make me redo the mansion. That would suck. Well, I hope I didn't just mess up and go all the way back to the beginning. Aha! Look at that. So that time they used the invisible wall kind of for trickery, but not like make you start an area all over again trickery, but more like, hey, the thing you're looking for is hidden here, but you gotta figure that out by throwing some stuff at it. Whoa! Hoop! Hoop! There we go. Ah! Oh, there it is. I knew there was gonna be something like that. Damn it. Yeah, don't make me start the whole area over. Oh, thank you. So we need to talk to her for an item. In this case, it's an oak stake. Oh, no. Ah, crap. I lost all my hearts when I had to continue. So we gotta go farm for some money. Without dying, hopefully. That's annoying. Alright, so, important to know. That's where all the blocks were. Destroy the curse with Dracula's heart. See, none of these are really telling you anything important. They're just saying, hey, the curse is stopped by using this part of the body. What part of the curse? What exactly is happening when you use this body part? And the game doesn't feel the urge to tell you any of that info. Which is annoying. Just tell me. You're not protecting anything vital, you're just making the player more confused. God damn it, skeleton, I need you to drop some hearts. There we go. So 4 per pop, we'll have to kill 13 of them to get, well, you have to get 13 hearts to get the stake. Which thankfully, once it's in your inventory, it doesn't matter if you die enough to the point where you have to continue, you still have the stake. It is a one-shot item. I think once you pierce the, as dumb as this sounds, I think it's like a heart you have to pierce, or maybe a, oh, that's not dumb, but like a bag you have to hit with it. I can't remember, it's been a while. There we go. 16. Oh, gotta go further. Oh, there we go. Yeah, if you watch the scrolling pixels on the edge of the screen, you can see when he respawns, and it's right here. Pop. Gotcha. There he is. 24. We're halfway there. You jerk. Come on. Give me that good stuff. Man, I really thought about it before, but it kind of looks like the walls are covered in blood. Waiting for that platform to come. I do not want to be pushing the water. All right, just jump. And die. Damn it. Well, I may just have to do it down here then. Because I don't want to fail again and then lose all the hearts that we got. Well, I may not have a choice. There we go. Castlevania games have not been known, at least in the early offing, for their platforming ease. Actually, one of the hardest games to correctly get jumps timed in, historically. If I had to guess, number of times I've died from a jump versus number of times the enemy has killed me, probably I've died from jumping deaths 4 times to 1. This game just gives you no give when it comes to the jumps. It's just, they should have called it jumping curse instead of Dracula's curse, because it's like, jumping's what kills you. Alright, just take the hit. There we go. Get that steak. Now, important question here, because, you know, I'm a dumb baby. How many people when they were kids thought he actually meant, like, steak as in meat? He wants me to eat a steak made out of oak? Ew! Get out of the way, guy. I need to get past you. I got the steak, so we should be alright even if we die here, because this was the last life, I want to say. So I'll have to continue again. That's the real loss if you have to continue, is you lose your hearts. That's it. No progress lost, nothing like that. They just punish you with losing your currency. So that passage on the right, there's how we get to the final room, if I'm not mistaken. We'll probably have to go up and then drop in. I knew that was gonna happen. Come on, make the jump! There we go. Come on. There we go. Alright, so if the enemy can walk on it, you're fine. If they can't, you want to start feeling out the floor, because it'll probably be a trap. There's another book. Garlic in the graveyard summons a stranger. I think literally you have to get to like a wall somewhere and then throw some garlic at it, and a guy will pop up, or you'll see a message. I can't remember which. By the way, we may not see it here, but I know some of these areas have bosses. But not this one. That's what it is. So that crystal there is where the item is that we need to get. Throw the stake at it. It pierces. There's the bag. And we finish the mansion. And now possess Dracula's heart. Ta-da! Now the extra fun part. We have to actually leave the mansion. They don't just kick you out after you finish. All the platforming travails that entails. Travails entails. Ow! Come on, I've played so good to this point. Don't take my hearts away. Ah, it's only 22. Whoa! Whee! I do think they made some shortcuts, but for the most part, you may have to retrace your steps. Which means fighting those demon monsters that shoot the projectiles at you. I guess the only way to find out if the heart does anything to help me is to actually put it on. I don't know if this is gonna hurt. It hurt. I think that's a good spot to stop, actually. Now we'll go ahead and use this banger to help close things out. So, let's go ahead and do the review phase. We always do the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is, again, this game was kind of a radical departure from the first game, and then the third one where they reversed course and went back to a playstyle more reminiscent of the first game. It has a leveling system. I'm using quotey fingers when I say that, in the sense that when you kill enough enemies, you level up, and I think you might add a little bit to your health bar, but it's not critical to finish the game. Ultimately, I don't think your weapon ever gains power from leveling. It's always from weapon upgrades. Your defense, I don't think, ever gets any better, aside from the items that you pick up from Dracula's body parts. It was fun as long as you knew what you were doing. And believe me, as a kid, trying to figure out where to go and never having a clue about it until I read in a magazine, go here, crouch while holding this item, and a tornado will pick you up and take you to the spot you want to go. Nothing in the game tells you where that is, and unfortunately, that would go in the bad camp, which is the game was a little bit too obtuse maybe from bad translation, maybe from just a lack of explanation altogether, regardless of what language it was written in, of what you were supposed to do to finish it. I've beaten the game. The last area is very cool. The boss fight is kind of weak, but other than that, it was a fun experience once I finally figured out how to actually beat the game. Also in the good, I guess I should say. Again, if I hadn't already complimented this game on its fantastic soundtrack, it is legitimately one of the best soundtracks in all of Nintendo's NES video game library. And I challenge anyone who thinks there's a better one. This is one of the best. As far as the ugly in this game, again, as you can see, the game had some pretty rough platforming. And it's not impossible to make all those jumps, but it's basically you getting a pixel or two of your back boot from falling completely off a ledge to making some of those more difficult jumps. They could have fixed that. I mean, make platforms that allow you to clip through them with your head if you're giving your character a narrow box that you can jump out of. Just let their head clip through the platform above it. It's that easy to fix. That may have been a tactical choice on their part, but I think it more likely was they didn't take the time to program it correctly. So that's unfortunate. That definitely goes in the ugly. Let's go ahead and give it a review score. We do everything in randars. We do 1 to 10 randars. I'm going to give this game... I'm going to give it a 6. A 6 because while the loop is fun, of going mansion to mansion, going through areas that are different each time, even though some of the stuff that you'll see in future mansions is very similar in design to this one, where, you know, you got invisible blocks that you can fall through, and it seems like you'll go through the same dropping passage with platforms so you can hopscotch back up through. They do get different, and there are some fun bosses to fight in this game, but the big hurdle that this game has for anyone ever going back to playing it is, if you're using a guide, this game you could probably beat in a day, maybe not even that long. If you're not using a excuse me, if you're not using a guide, you may never beat this game, because they do not tell you how to do certain things. I don't think it ever told me anywhere getting up to that river that you had to get a blue crystal and then just kneel at the water for 5 seconds without doing anything. Without that simple instruction, I bet most players would get to that point and go, I don't know what to do, and then just stop playing the game. So as much fun as this game is, even looking back at it now, I can't give it a higher score than a 6 because they made it too hard to figure out what you have to do. The clues that the townspeople give you are too simple, and it's probably because in Japanese they could give you much better descriptions of what you had to do in every area. They just dropped the ball here. The reason that kind of stuff happens is they only allow text to appear in a certain space, and they can't just have it scroll if the Japanese text did not also scroll. So if a character had so much to say when you talk to him one time that it appears in multiple scrolling windows, you'll still get those multiple scrolling windows in the English translation. But if they said everything they needed to say in one box and it was detailed enough to explain everything they needed to in Japanese, but not in English, they had to try to intimate it the best they could, and it ended up ruining the play experience for English-speaking players, unfortunately. So 6 randars is fair for this game, even though I love the soundtrack, and being the only Castlevania game I ever got, this was my favorite, which I don't think is a misplaced favoritism. I played the other 2 games. I didn't like them as much as this one. So that's going to do it for this episode of Castlevania II, Simon's Quest. This was a fun look back, even though we only got to the one mansion. I'm not worried about trying to beat this game. You can look it up on YouTube. I'm sure someone will do a full playthrough somewhere. But it was enjoyable to look back, even if I did give it a rather mediocre score. But I do appreciate everyone watching, and I will see you next time.